Hey guys, I'm Stephanie,
And I'm Tiffany.
and we are
Sisters
Sisters
of the
of the
South.
South. We are back again today to share another true crime story.
Woohoo!
Wow, we are so excited about this story today. We're going to take a little trip back into the history of Texas. So we always get super stoked over our Texas stories. But before we do that, what we'd like to ask you to do is watch the video, like it, comment, and share. And then when you're done with all of that and you love our stories, hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so every time Sisters of the South uploads a show, you can join us. So with that being said, we've got to bring up our favorite vendor and friends, SoFly.
So fly.
SoFly! Not so small!
Not no more.
No more!
Yeah.
Yeah. SoFly is a company here in the Houston, Texas area. They're owned by family. And what they do is specialize in embroidery and laser work. And so they'll take an item such as a cap, a hoodie, an apron, even a carving board or your favorite tumbler, and they will either embroidery your logo, special icon, or your name, or laser into leather and wood, and they will specify it to your needs. And they make wonderful, wonderful accessories. We know that you'll love them, so if you'll try them out and share a photo, we'd love to see it. But we're going to show you a little video of how they do that. So here we go.
All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed that video. Please go check them out. Let them know we sent you. And yeah, if you do buy something, please send us a picture.
Absolutely. And we're going to drop their information in our description box below. So I'm going to turn it over to Tiff so we can get started on this story today.
All right, guys. So, doing this story, I realize Texas has a true candy problem. We love our candy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for us to have two candy men, which we've done the stories on, guys, and now a candy lady, we have some issues.
Big issues. I would think it would be margarita issues, but no, it's candy.
Yeah. That's bad.
Well, it makes me wonder if Texas isn't lacing our candy with something. We have a true addiction to candy over here in this state.
If you can do 3 stories about people killing people with candy, maybe there's a problem.
In less than a year, we've done these stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
crazy.
bad, guys. Bad. Pray for
Quit
us here in
eating candy.
Texas. So, Clara Crane, and there is no mention of her maiden name, was born in Terrell, Texas in 1871. In the mid 1880s, Clara married an older man named Leonard Gilbert Crane. Clara quickly gave birth to their only child, Marcella, and the 3 of them lived on a farm in the outskirts of Terrell, Texas. When Marcella was 5 years old in 1893, she went out into the fields with her father while he worked and did not return home. Marcella had been killed in a farming accident while under her father's supervision. Clara blamed her husband, Leonard, for Marcella's death, even more so after she found out he had been drinking at the time of the accident. Clara stewed in her anger and hatred of her husband for 2 years before deciding on her revenge.
So resentment started building up.
Yes.
And if he had been dealing with an alcohol issue prior to that, she probably already had a little bit of resentment built up anyway.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And then this just did not make matters any better.
Nope.
So Clara's husband, Leonard, loved caramel candy. So Clara did what any loving wife would do. She cooked up a special batch of Leonard's favorite caramel candy, laced them with poison, and gave them to Leonard to eat, killing him.
Oh, wow. That's one way to solve a problem. And my husband is a candy eater.
Yes, he is.
He loves his candy. I would never do that, but it would be
You
a
know how to
surefire
get
way
him
to take
just in
care of it.
case. Use the candy.
Oh,
That's horrible.
man.
Don't hit people in that sweet spot.
I mean, yeah. It's
But you
kinda
know
sad.
they're gonna eat it. They're not gonna
Yes.
turn down their favorite caramel
No,
candies.
it makes you wonder what she used because I wonder if it tasted different to him. Was it bitter or
I'm sure it was a little sweet. I don't
maybe?
know.
I don't know. I've never tasted
Well, I'm
poison that
thinking about caramel, so if it was a little bitter,
Yes. Yeah.
it would be ew.
Yeah.
So the following day, a neighbor came by to check on Clara. After noticing her shaken and frenzied state, the neighbor called County Sheriff Fred Springer, and Clara was taken into custody. The sheriff discovered what had become of Leonard, and Clara was placed on trial for first-degree murder.
Really? That quickly?
That quickly.
Wow.
There probably wasn't a lot going on in Terrell, Texas back then, so they're like, let's do this.
Wow. See, they don't have the fast lane now for murder cases like that.
No, but I mean, she was there. I don't know. How did they know she was?
I mean, they
Well,
found him dead. It's not even like I mean, maybe they did an autopsy, but like how are they just going to go, "Oh, she's guilty. He
it
ate
was the
caramel and
candy.
she poisoned him." I mean, were they that smart back then? Because they sure
Well, she
aren't
may
now.
have just admitted to it. Like, man, I was pissed
Okay.
because she did plead grief-related insanity.
Okay. So
So she probably said,
maybe her frenzy state that her friend found her in was maybe her admitting to it.
possibly.
Okay. So maybe we just solved that little issue.
Well, instead of receiving life in prison, Clara was incarcerated in the North Texas Lunatic Asylum, now known as the Terrell State Hospital, where she stayed for 4 years. During her stay at the asylum, Clara's doctors noted that she had shredded her bed sheets and made a doll out of the fabric, which she called Marcy, which was her daughter's nickname. Clara would speak and sing to her doll as if it was really her daughter. In a letter to her sister, Clara talked about her life at the asylum and how she would be released soon. In her letter, she wrote, "Dearest Aggie, I am elated. I have been informed by Dr. Matthews that Marcy and I will be returning home in less than 3 weeks. As you can imagine, Marcy can barely contain excitement. Every night she asks, 'Is tomorrow the day when we go home, Mother?' Very soon I will be able to tell her yes. Our stay here has been somewhat of a trial. Though I have been grateful to the good doctor and his staff and their dedication to our treatment and recovery. Leonard's death had put us in such a severe state of melancholy that I feared we would never escape it. These past few years have been more difficult than any in my life, and my dear Marcella, after all that she has had to endure, has become my strength, my flame of hope."
Okay. I'm just thinking if if you wrote me this letter from an asylum and I knew, of course I would know the story, I would think she does
She does
not
not need to
need
get
to be
out.
released.
Yeah.
I would be reaching out and contacting people saying there's a problem.
That would terrify me.
Well, where is she
You
going to
know,
go
like,
when she leaves? I'm sure she had to have a place to go before they would release her.
I don't know. I don't know if back then I have no idea. I don't even know if they cared.
I mean, because her husband had passed away, and obviously she's not going to have a home. So
Right.
you would think that they would consider, you know, a
Again, I don't
place
know
of
if they cared
residence. Yeah.
because in 1899, Clara was released from the asylum due to overcrowding.
What?
Yes,
They do that there too?
apparently so.
Oh my
Which is
gosh.
really sad because these people need help.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Since Clara was considered to be well behaved and soft spoken, her doctors felt that she wouldn't be a threat to anyone outside of the asylum. Well,
Oh,
that's a good reason.
okay.
I mean, she's talking to her doll as if it's her child, but you know what? She's well
Sh-
behaved and soft spoken,
She's
so
soft spoken.
it's time.
She's sweet.
Yeah. No word on where Clara officially went after her release, but it is believed Clara returned to Terrell, Texas after being released from the asylum. Okay, so from 1903 to 1913, 8 children went missing from Terrell, Texas, near the Crane property. The adults didn't understand how the children would disappear in the middle of the night until some of the older children confessed a secret they'd been keeping for years. These kids would tell their parents that occasionally, when they would wake up, they would find candy sitting on their windowsill. Now, there is no child I know that would pass up candy on a windowsill.
Oh,
They don't
absolutely
care
not.
where it came from.
I mean, they take money from the tooth fairy, okay? So
And gifts from Santa.
maybe this is the candy fairy to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? Well, either written on the candy's wrapper or on a piece of paper left with the candy was a message saying, "Can you come out to play?" from the candy lady.
Oh, wow.
The
That's
children,
creepy.
that is so creepy.
That is so freaking creepy.
The children were worried that if they said anything, the candy would stop coming. So they kept quiet about it for years.
Well, it makes sense to me. Okay. If someone was leaving me candy, I might keep that a secret too.
Like, Mom doesn't give me candy often, and this lady's just putting it on my windowsill. I don't have to do anything,
Yeah.
but maybe go play with her.
Wow.
Yeah. Ugh. During the search for the missing children, a farmer was working in one of his fields and found random candy wrappers on the ground. When he picked it up, he was horrified to find it filled with rotten children's teeth.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh. A few weeks later, the local sheriff also vanished. His body was later found in a ditch. Forks were stabbed into his eyes. And get this, his pockets were stuffed with candy.
Oh my gosh. They had a serial killer on the loose.
Okay, so she makes candy, but where's she making it? Where's she living? You got to have a way to make this
Yeah.
stuff. Ugh. So, no one really knows whatever came of Clara Crane, but to this day, it is believed that she became the Candy Lady of Terrell, Texas.
Wow. So I wonder if her sister ever spoke out and how far away did her sister live?
I know, I couldn't find that information, but maybe she did stay with her sister and her sister never knew anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because where would she have gone?
Yeah. Yeah, because her family's wiped out. So it's interesting.
So, guys, if you find candy on your windowsill, don't eat it. Well, I
Even
guess
if
you
you're
can eat it.
tempted.
Don't go play with the person giving you the candy.
Well, it might have poison in it. So
Well, that's true.
don't eat it.
No one ever said it was actually.
Poison.
Well, I mean, the older kids said they found the candy. I wonder if they ate it
Oh, well, obviously they were afraid that if they told
or
someone
just
that they wouldn't
kept
get
it.
it. I'm
I don't
I'm
know.
sure. I'm sure that they ate it. Why wouldn't
See,
they?
I would think so, but it couldn't have been poisoned.
Well, that's true. But kids,
But what was she doing to the children once she got them out to play?
eh, that's weird too. And
They never found them.
maybe she just was looking for a relationship, motherly relationship with a child. And that was her way of bonding with them.
And I get that.
Now we call that grooming. Okay. But back then, people didn't think in those terms.
They never found the children, so no one ever knows exactly what
Wow.
happened. They only found the teeth.
Oh, wow. It makes me wonder if these were younger children and maybe their teeth were loose. And so when they'd eat, if it's creamy candy like caramel or anything like that, their teeth are going to come out
Exactly.
eating hard candy. But what
Especially
happened?
caramels. I've had that happen.
Yes.
I had a baby tooth come out with a milk dud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it grabs on and don't let go.
Yeah.
And then you'd wonder, they never found the kids. If it was Clara, did she raise them. But then if she's living with her sister, wouldn't her sister think, where'd this kid come from? And
Or
where's this one? Like
a town
random.
of 8 children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So many
odd.
questions. But it
What
was
was
very interesting that we have a candy lady.
Yeah. She took it to a different level for sure.
Well, they usually do.
Mhm. Interesting story.
Yeah. So, guys, what do you think? Do you think she is the candy lady? First of all, you kind of have to wonder.
Well, she's definitely up for debate because she poisoned her husband with
With
candy.
candy.
And then she lost her child, and she's talking to a doll as though it's her daughter and it's alive. So she has this thing about children.
Hmm.
She was shattered and broken in her mind over her losing her child, which is
Yes.
completely understandable. But then when you're talking about 8 missing children, what kind of investigation was going on in that town? Or did they just go, "Oh, well, it's Clara again. She's up to her mischievous ways making candy." I mean, were they able to put the pieces together that the children that went missing is because of the candy that was left on the windowsills, or did they leave it up as an urban legend?
I
Which is
think
which is
which
basically
is
what
what
this
it
is.
is, of
Mhm.
course, because they don't
Mhm.
have as many details on this. But um I there weren't very many people to investigate this, and
Right.
the local sheriff died.
Right.
So,
Because he got stabbed in the eye,
yes.
which is
Y-
another odd thing. Is he the one that put her in jail originally? Do we
I'm
know?
probably
More than
more
likely,
than
because it's a
likely.
small town, and so maybe due to her resentment towards this man as well, she's like, "Let's get rid of him."
You also have to wonder if the children were related in any way. Were they just random children, or were they children of people that put her away?
I wonder what the population was back then.
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Let's look up and see what the population of Terrell, Texas was in the late 1800s.
Okay, so
Less than 3,000 people.
a little less than 3,000 people.
So that's small. And back then, people had huge families. It'd be the husband, the wife, and anywhere from 8 to 16 kids. So that adds up quickly.
So it could have been children from the same families
Absolutely.
of possibly people that put her in this asylum.
Right.
So it could have been revenge.
Very well could have been.
Maybe that's why it stopped after 8 children.
Possibly. Yeah.
Maybe she
Very
was leaving the
interesting.
candy to let them know who she was.
Yeah. Very possible. I'm not sure they were smart enough to link it other than just, we're just going to throw it on Clara. You know how crazy she is. She got out of that old asylum over there.
She killed her husband. God, she's horrible.
Yeah, that's interesting. What do you guys think? I'm kind of I don't know. I don't know what I think, to be honest.
I was sad for her though.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm very sad for her. The
She
thing
has a
is,
heartbreaking story.
I'm not I'm not sure that she deserves to have that title put on her due to the 8 children being missing, because no one did the proper investigation that needed to be done to prove it one way or the other. And so she received a title for something that she very possibly didn't do, because no one ever saw her again. But yet they just threw this crime on Clara.
That's right.
So it very well could be, and she was hiding and doing it, but what are the odds that no one's gonna see you, not one time after you get out of the asylum? But yet these crimes start occurring, and, "Oh, well, we're just gonna throw it on Clara." To me, it almost makes me think they were lazy and didn't wanna do their work and their investigation
I think it
on
linked
it.
it to her because of the candy. Like,
Yes.
well, that couldn't be a coincidence, right? That
Right.
multiple people eat candy.
Well, you always have these people who will come behind and mimic or mock what someone else has
Copycat.
done. a copycat. And so it's possible that someone thought this would be a great idea. No one ever sees Clara, but I'm going to leave this candy on the window sills and then I'm going to sneak these kids out, right? And I'm going to do something to them.
It's possible. It's possible either that or she wanted revenge
Yeah.
on the town that put her away.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be if I was on a jury,
Mhm.
I would not be able to convict Clara because there's no evidence beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Absolutely. Well, no one knows where she is for sure.
Where you can't even put her on the stand because she's not even around. I mean, we know she killed her husband.
Yes.
We know that for a fact.
And we know she should have really stayed in the asylum.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But who knows what was happening to her in that asylum, too? I mean,
Mhm.
you don't know how well they were taken care of.
Well, we've all heard stories about things, immoral things that happened in those asylums. I'm sure they happen today, but they most definitely happened back then.
And she was young and
Gorgeous.
gorgeous,
Mhm.
and
Soft-spoken.
soft-spoken.
Sounds like
Yeah.
she seemed really vulnerable,
Well,
even though
yeah,
she
and she
wasn't
was
right in her
heartbroken,
mind.
so she's probably in this she's not quite in present time, she's thinking about her daughter,
Yeah, and she's grieving.
grieving.
So, yeah, someone could definitely take advantage of that for sure.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but I couldn't convict her. I'm just gonna say it, guys. I couldn't convict her if I was
No.
on a jury. So I'm not really sure. I'm not positive that she did it. I think someone in Terrell County needs to reopen this case and start a real investigation on it. That's what I think. I challenge you guys over in Terrell, Texas to open this up as a cold case.
Can we do it?
Can we do it? Oh my gosh. I would be all over that.
Oh, yeah. That would
That
be
would be
great.
phenomenal.
We're not that far away.
Nope, we're not. So, yeah. Hey, anybody want to holler at us? You know where we're at. It would give us a thrill.
Yes. So, tell us what you think, guys, if it was an interesting story. I had fun just looking into her whole story. Actually, Stephanie brought it to my attention.
Mhm.
I was like, Candy Lady. And then her story just broke my heart.
Yeah.
And then, it got a little creepier towards the end, like an actual children's nightmare.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but yeah, y'all tell us what you think. Leave us some comments.
Absolutely. But until the next time, guys, remember to see the good
and
and
stay
stay
imperfectly
imperfectly perfect.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.